Welcome to the Squatcher's Corner podcast. Get ready for some awesome Bigfoot stories. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Squatcher's Corner. I'm your host, Riley Duvall, joined by my two co-hosts, Ryan Pickens and Asa Neal. Ryan and Asa, how are y'all doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Asa?
Yep, we're doing good.
Tonight we are talking about, obviously by the name of the channel, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, the big man himself. Ryan, your opinion on Bigfoot?
Real.
Real? Asa?
I would have to say real.
I obviously believe real. Ryan, what were you going to say?
Oh, nothing.
So yeah, we all believe Bigfoot's real. We're all really into it. I mean, in a few weeks, we're going up to the Blue Ridge Mountains and we're going to do some squatching while we're up there. But yeah, Ryan, what got you into Bigfooting?
You did mainly. You kind of showed me some stuff that was pretty convincing.
Like, what convinced you the most out of stuff I've shown you?
I don't know. The Patterson-Gimlin film is like probably the most convincing.
Yes, that is true for me as well. And if y'all need to see, that's as y'all can look at my cursor. That's in this bottom right corner. That's a photo from the actual Patterson-Gimlin film. Asa, what got you into Bigfoot?
I would say I would always have had always been interested in the unknown. So not just Bigfoot, but also other things like aliens, all that good stuff.
Cryptids,
But yeah,
all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, 100%. So Bigfoot is just another example of those.
Yeah. For me, like Asa, I've always just been really into Bigfoot, ghosts, paranormal, cryptids, aliens, you name it. I mean, I believe all of it. I'd say out of the three of us, I probably believe the most. Like, I believe in the Wendigo and stuff like that.
I would say that's fair.
Yeah.
But out of stuff like that, I think Bigfoot and aliens are the two most likely. But Bigfoot is what we're talking about. So, one thing I really want to talk about today is Patterson-Gimlin footage. That's one thing I really wanted to own in on. As you can see in this little corner right here, we do have an actual shot from the Patterson-Gimlin film. Yeah, I mean, if you look at Ryan, I've talked to you a little bit about this. Asa, not as much. Yeah, one of the reasons I believe it's real so much is if you look at the leg that's exposed, that's not a human. I mean, what do you guys think? In any way?
Nah, I really don't think it could be a human. I mean, obviously, humans, they have certain characteristics. And clearly by looking at this picture, just by the way the arms are bent backwards,
Yeah.
not exactly something that a human could do. Humans have tried in movies to replicate, the walk of a Bigfoot, like we've seen. But not very many people can replicate that. So that's why, I believe that it's real just from what footage that I've seen.
Yeah, especially with those arms. That just looks so unhuman.
Yes, it is.
Also, with the arms, if you look at where the elbows are placed, most human arms would end where the elbows start on that. So you couldn't really have the articulation that you see in the video with where the actual elbow is.
Yeah. I was watching a video the other day, and it said, "Put out your arm and add another foot to it." And I was like, "What?" Because that's how long that arm would be. You got your arm plus another 12 inches, and that just seems unhuman. Like, that's not natural.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I mean, you can see just in this picture down here, the tips of the fingers are, they go all the way below the kneecap.
Yeah. I'd say one of the things that most skeptics on this video bring up is it does look at the camera perfectly. Do y'all have anything to say on that? I mean, because we've all seen the footage. We can't show it because it is copyrighted. But what do y'all have to say on like it's literally perfect. It's like boom, and it just looks right at him. It's the best Bigfoot moment ever, but some would say it is a hoax.
I mean, I would say that, obviously this was shot from further away. So, and we don't know if these people were, quietly taking pictures, if this is a nature cam. So it very well could have been, someone maybe stepped on a stick, or even though it sounds kind of silly, but I mean, there could be a lot of reasons why it's looking, it that way.
Yeah,
but I don't know if I would use that as a reason to say that it's faked.
it's
Because
weird
if it was,
Bigfoot behavior.
Well,
it is.
I think the reason that it looked is because he was probably like screaming or yelling because he was getting off of a horse to see it. So the Bigfoot probably noticed that and started looking at him.
And like if I saw a Bigfoot, I'd be like, like I'd be screaming like, dude, look at
Yeah.
that, and it would look over. But Asa, I don't know. I know I've talked to Ryan. Do you ever watch like videos on how they behave, or are you unaware in the subject?
I have very minimal knowledge on how they behave. But I know how humans behave, and I know the difference. So
Yeah. Ryan, do you want to give that rundown on like how Bigfoot would react to a human?
Well, in some cases it would just attack, or it would just not even pay attention to the human.
Yeah, almost like just keep walking. Which, if you
Yeah,
do
which is what it
watch,
did. But
yeah, go watch. Like anybody watching this, if you haven't seen the Patterson Gimlin footage, please do yourself a favor and go watch it. It's probably the best evidence of something unknown that we have. Like it's a lot of people say, "Oh, why is Bigfoot footage always so blurry?" Well, if you look at cameras at the time and you look at how well the two men were that captured this, this perfectly, this is basically like filming like if we got a video like that, like if you compare the quality of that to our video today, this would be like us taking our iPhone 11, filming the Bigfoot, but camera technology wasn't where it was today. So I would say if they had our phones, that it would be proven.
definitely, and
Yeah.
I think that's also a reason to support this, because they didn't have the same CGI technology that we have today. So it would the only way to replicate this picture would be to get a really good costume and study the behavior of said Bigfoot. So I think that's these having older technology is a reason to support this to be real.
Yeah.
yeah, even the creator of um, the Planet of the Apes, he looked at the footage and he said that he wishes he could make a monkey costume or something like that as good as how it looks, because it looks so realistic.
Yeah. It like if I look at that photo, it gives me chills because you're seeing something that is almost not meant to be seen.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know how aware y'all are on like Native Americans and their association with Bigfoot, but they really do believe in Bigfoot. Like a lot of tribal cultures have like records of this creature, and some of them even would describe it as another tribe. Like they would consider the Bigfoots just a different tribe of humanity. Um, like they would even offer them food, and for that food, Bigfoots would keep like grizzly bears out of the area. It's very interesting. Now, of course, we can't always believe that. We can't believe it without evidence, but I don't see what they have to lie about. You know, but I mean, obviously, I mean, there's a lot of weird things like stuff we can't believe. Like we can't believe in the common myth that the one you read about where the Earth was on the turtle's back.
Yeah.
Obviously, we can't look at that and then look at the Bigfoot and say, "Oh, Bigfoot's real." But some Native Americans are almost scared to go in the woods because of this creature. It seems like they fear it in a way that they didn't just make it up. Um, Asa, you're talking about movie technology and trying to recreate Bigfoot. I have yet to seen a good Bigfoot movie.
For sure, someone's got to make one. Someone with a lot of money needs to make a good Bigfoot movie.
I mean, I saw one. There was one. There was one that I watched that was pretty good. I think it was called like Believe or something like that. It was a bunch of college kids out filming with their GoPros, and I was surprised at how good it was. Although the Bigfoot looked like a human walking in a costume, very different than the photo you see in the right hand corner. Yeah, that was the only good one I've ever seen, but Hollywood really does need to make a big budget Bigfoot movie. I mean, I don't see why it's not one yet. I would pay
Exactly.
a lot.
Exactly. That's a market that's really been untouched. Like we've seen dinosaurs, we've seen
Monsters, Godzilla,
monsters. Yeah, so it's definitely a new thing.
Cryptids would be cool. I would pay to see a Bigfoot movie. I'd pay to see a Wendigo movie. They're starting to get some ground in the video game market.
Yeah.
We've all been playing a game called Folklore Hunter, and I have no association with it, but y'all really should go check it out if you've never played it. I love that game. That game's it's scary. It's scary for sure.
It's good.
Bigfoot is the game called Bigfoot, or is it Finding Bigfoot?
I think it's just Bigfoot now.
All right, it's just Bigfoot. That's another great game y'all should go check out. We have a lot of good memories in that game. But not even a video game can recreate what we saw in the Patterson-Gimlin footage.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So outside of that, Ryan, what is your favorite Bigfoot footage photo you've ever seen? Outside of Patterson-Gimlin, because that's everybody's favorite.
There's this one, I forget what it's called, but it's got this guy. He was making casts of Bigfoot footprints.
Yeah.
And he heard like cracking or something, and then he pointed his camera in a direction, and you could see like a Bigfoot just walk by, and you could even see a little younger Bigfoot with her.
Oh, what's the name of that? This is really famous, and I feel like we shouldn't even be called Squatchers if we can't remember this. If you just look up, like, Bigfoot and baby Bigfoot found by park ranger, you should probably be able to find it. I can't remember the name, though. Asa, have you seen any videos that really compelled you outside of Patterson-Gimlin?
Yeah, of course. I mean, even the most recent cases, I read an article last week that was posted in February about a couple who, has had no encounters with Bigfoot before. They were out in the woods camping, and they actually saw a black figure in the woods. And I have a quote pulled up from them. Let's see, where is it? Yes. So actually the wife said, I looked over and I had seen a big black mass and thought it was a bear. And that was recent. That was that was posted in February of 2020.
Any location on it, or is it unknown?
Yes. Let's see. Ohio.
Very famous Bigfoot stuff comes out of Ohio, y'all.
Definitely.
Ryan, I think you muted yourself on accident.
The footage I was talking about is called the Freeman footage.
Freeman footage, yep. That guy, great guy. Go check out his footage. It's right behind Patterson-Gimlin in like how compelling it is. He said, in the video, he doesn't seem that shocked to be seeing them. That's because he says he encounters them a lot, which is interesting. But yeah, Asa, that would. Everybody needs to always be aware that when you go into the woods looking for Bigfoot, you're not always going to come across Bigfoot. You can always come across a 400 pound bear that's going to rip you apart.
100%.
But to me, it's worth it just to see Bigfoot. I would love to see Bigfoot. Are y'all scared to see Bigfoot, or would y'all like to see one?
I'd like to see it, but I don't think I'd like. I don't think I'd like it to see me.
Yeah, that's fair. Asa, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, it really is just another species.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would say it's just as dangerous as a bear. Like if you don't mess with the bear's not going to mess with you. So I feel like Bigfoot is one of those cases.
For sure.
Just from the behaviors that we've gotten to see, through videos and people who've actually encountered Bigfoot, Bigfoot does not appear to be kind of a hostile creature.
No, not unless provoked, I'd say.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And another, thing to support it as well. People who are marine biologists, they, obviously study underwater creatures, and they're discovering new species every single day. And there's still more out there. And so, why can't that be the same thing for on land? Like, we may not have seen every species of animal that, walks the earth. So I think that that's just another reason to support the existence of Bigfoot.
Yeah, there's so much. I don't remember the exact numbers, but there's so much forest unexplored.
Yeah, 100%.
They did a $4 million project to Ryan. What was it? To take a picture of a wolverine. Was it a wolverine?
It was a wolf.
A wolf.
It took years.
It took years to get a photograph of a wolf, a known common species. It took them 4 years. So I'd assume Bigfoot is more intelligent than most animals, if not the second most intelligent species. So if they don't want to be seen, I feel like they could probably avoid it pretty well. And if it takes us 4 years to find a wolf, it could take so long to find a Bigfoot.
Yeah, for sure. Riley, I'm interested to get your opinion. What do you think the difference is, or what do you think the similarities are between Bigfoot and maybe a gorilla species?
Um, well, with Bigfoot, obviously, gorillas, I'm not the most familiar, but I think they stand between 4 to 7, like 4 to 5 feet. And obviously, gorillas are huge, muscular.
Yeah.
But Bigfoot stands from 7 to 12 feet, 500 pounds minimum, up to like 1,500. Now, I think they are similar. Um, just how I think a regular monkey is similar to a gorilla, but I think Bigfoot is probably the most advanced primate we see. Like, I think out of like if you take like baboons, orangutans, uh, regular monkeys, gorillas, and Bigfoot, he's the top dog, and I think if it ever came down to a fight, Bigfoot would win. So to answer your question, Bigfoot, in my opinion, compared to a gorilla, it's bigger, it's taller, it's more intelligent, but I think there's a basic level of connection between the two.
Yeah, just like monkeys and gorillas. I feel like they
Yeah,
could also be. Is Bigfoot considered are gorillas marsupials?
I am.
They're primates.
Okay. I don't even know.
Yeah, Bigfoot is considered a primate by
Okay.
most. Although some
And
people say he came on alien spaceships.
okay. Now I think we're stretching it. But
Yeah.
do you believe that Bigfoot and gorillas are in the same family?
Yes, for sure.
Okay. Got you.
What about you, Ryan?
Yeah. They're pretty similar. They're not as close. They're not very close to each other, but they are like connected.
That'd cool. That'd be cool to see the two interact.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe they do.
yeah, maybe they do. We really don't know. This is an interesting question, but none of us live in Washington or Oregon or Northern California. Has anybody had any kind of just even the basics of being near a Bigfoot? Have any of y'all had any kind of an encounter with one?
I have
I
not.
don't think so.
The only thing that I've come close to is my family has some land out in Colorado, and it's very isolated, right near the Rocky Mountain. Is that a state park? State park, right? Not national
Yeah.
forest.
Yeah.
State park. Lots of Bigfoot sightings there, by the way. Um, Everybody was out, and I was just walking around by myself, and get down to this little creek, lots of mud. There's just a huge footprint in the mud, uh, barefoot, which that's weird. Um, but of course, I don't. I mean, it could have just been someone playing a prank on me. Could have been somebody trespassing. I wish I had known what I know now, because maybe I can use my hand as an example. Flip it this way. So your foot, all your toes are kind of straight, except for this one on the very end, your smallest toe. It bends inwards, and that is one way to see if Bigfoot tracks are real or not. Because that bend is caused by wearing shoes. It's technically could be considered deformed because it comes from so many years of wearing shoes. And that's the instant way you see if the Bigfoot prints are fake or not. Because Bigfoot's feet are, I believe, like this, and then it bends out. That last foot, last toe will bend out because they don't wear shoes, obviously. And I didn't check for that. I had very little knowledge back then, but I believe it was probably just either some drunk guy trespassing or my family. But it was a rather large footprint. But I know I don't want to claim I've been near a Bigfoot. There's very few people that have done that, so that's the only thing I even have close to it.
What about when we were talking about how they sometimes sleep in abandoned buildings,
Oh,
and then the abandoned house you went to,
scary
and you heard
story for sure. Um,
that could have been.
that could have been. Ace, I don't think I've ever told you this story. Um, y'all remember that house we visited up when we went up to the mountains?
Yes.
Um, well, I went to it once, and Bigfoot are known to sleep in abandoned buildings, especially during the winter months, because it's so cold outside. Well, this was the mountains in January, so obviously very, very cold outside. And I go to this abandoned farmhouse. Same one we went to. Obviously, you guys don't know the one. Um, Also, if anybody is watching it, we didn't go to an abandoned house. We didn't trespass or anything. But I was walking around it, and I'm interested in ghosts. I do a lot of paranormal investigating. I got the um, what's it called, man? I need to go back to my prime EMF detector, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got that. I got the spirit box. I got temperature thermometers, all that kind of stuff. But I have the spirit box. Just look it up if you don't know what it is. Just blaring in my ears, and I take it off for a second, and I'm listening. And in this abandoned house, I hear human footsteps. And what I mean by human is two legs going down at once. So boom, boom. Do you guys know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, like when I accidentally did that. When an animal like a dog, like a possum walks, you're gonna hear like 4 footsteps right after each other. This was a slow 2 feet at a time. Um, I didn't even think of this at the time, but once again, I really got back into Bigfoot during quarantine because I've been so bored. And I just learned so much more stuff since the beginning of it. But they are known to go inside abandoned houses again. And I hear this. I hear the top story of the house, and I hear the wood, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I like to go inside the buildings. So I checked the front door, it was locked. Checked the side door, it was locked. All the windows were nail gun shut. Only one way in, and it was like an 8-foot drop into the basement. And I wasn't about to do that. I probably couldn't physically do that. But I hear these footsteps just start going for the outside. I genuinely thought I was going to die. But I run to the car as these footsteps are getting out. And on the way out, somebody says, they look back and they say they saw like a 7-foot tall just figure all in black. Now, once again, I'm not going to claim I saw a Bigfoot. It was probably a drug dealer coming to shoot me. Or like a child abductor, but the possibility is always out there. But, if Bigfoot's some kind of like divine creature, please don't let those be my Bigfoot encounters. I want to see you face to face. But yeah, so for my birthday, Asa got us a house, and Asa, I'm so excited to go squatching.
No, I am so excited too.
It's going to be really fun.
Yeah, I got a 90 decibel sound bar. Another great thing of Asa, per Asa's recommendations. 90 decibel sound bar. And we are just going to pump some squatch calls with that thing.
Oh, yes.
It's going to be good. Can somebody pull up a photo for me real quick of the skunk ape?
I got it.
Ryan, you got it? All right, let me pull that up. What's that one? While you're getting it ready, this is something. There we go. Let me put that back in good view. All right, so as y'all can see right here, Asa, can you see it?
No, cannot.
All right, there might be like a click screen option or watch stream. That's what came up.
Oh,
in
yeah.
mine.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, you can see the photo we're looking at?
Yes, I can.
All right, my views are to the side because that's where my monitor is. Yeah, so this is a photo I wanted to bring up. This was taken by a lady. Her report says that apples, I'm pretty sure it was apples, were going missing every night. She lives down in Florida. We can talk about Florida Bigfoot in a second. So she decided to... So because apples were going missing, she decided to actually set up a camera and kind of look at it. And now we have two pictures of it. She decided to set up a camera, see what it was, and she saw this terrifying image. Ryan, we'll start with you. What do you think of this? Is it hoax? It's a very good quality picture of a Bigfoot. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, see, it's convincing because I see the inside of the mouth. I see the gray hairs. It's just, and like the glowing eyes. I think it's just really realistic if it's fake, but if it's very convincingly that looks real.
Now, there's another option here. That could be something out of a zoo. It would be a very strange looking animal, but the way it doesn't look like a Bigfoot. I think we can all agree on that. It's very small for one.
Well, it is hunched over.
Yeah, but it almost looks like it's built hunched over. Asa, what do you think? Hoax or real?
Nah, I think it's real.
You think it's real?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like just looking at this photo, there doesn't appear to be any obvious photoshopping, especially because of all the plants in front of it. It would be really hard to like
That
cut and paste a creature in in that scenario with all that nature surrounding it. Um, and even then, they'd have to have a picture of that thing to begin with. So,
and
you know,
that's a very good costume if somebody did that.
well, yeah, and also even if it was a costume, you wouldn't get those glowing eyes from
Yep.
any human eyes, or you can't really replicate that. It's really hard to. That's a real picture for sure.
Yeah, that's a really good photo. Um, yeah, I'm not sure with this one. I think it could be real. I think it definitely could be. Um, I'd love to start, um, actually talking to people about their Bigfoot encounters. Because when you talk to someone, you can see how genuine they are.
Yeah.
Um, but if that is a real Bigfoot photo, I do have to say that's probably the best quality thing we have of that creature. But
For sure, definitely.
I guess this is a good part to go into it. Uh, what do y'all think? So there's reports of Bigfoot all over the United States, Florida, Texas, California, Washington, Ohio. I don't know as much in the Northeast. I know there's a few in like the wooded areas of New York. Um, there's some down south where we're located, but um, and then obviously this is the part I was getting to. We got reports in Russia, Asia, uh, European part of Russia, and the Asian part of Russia, Asia, Australia, all over the world. We have reports of Bigfoot. The Himalayas, obviously the Yeti. What do y'all think? Is Bigfoot across the world, or are all these people just trying to make some money?
Yeah, I think Bigfoot is across the world, 'cause, like most animals.
Asa?
Yeah, I definitely think I would be more inclined to believe the people that don't seek Bigfoot, that have Bigfoot encounters. Just because, the people that do look for Bigfoot, I feel like sometimes they can fabricate, photos or audio clips. So for me, I'm just more inclined to believe people that just get random shots, like this one right here.
Yeah. Man, if I got a random shot of that, I would have screamed, dude. Don't y'all think that's a scary? That's a scary looking Bigfoot.
That
Yeah.
is freaky.
Like that thing wants to eat your children.
Oh yeah, for sure.
uh, Patterson Gimlin Bigfoot looks like a chill, like nice invite to the barbecue,
Oh yeah.
but not this thing. This thing will eat you. Um, yeah, I am. I am really excited to go squatching, you guys.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I bought a Polaroid camera just because how are you gonna Photoshop a Polaroid picture? Although I won't be able to get the entire Bigfoot on the actual photo, but you'll at least know its shoulders are real.
Oh
Um,
yeah, for
Ryan, is
sure.
there anything in specific you want to bring up?
Uh,
Anything you'd like to talk about?
Not really. I don't have anything else.
Asa?
No, not retaining to Bigfoot.
Well,
Also, I did find. Let me just pull up this image real quick. It's of the same creature. It's just a slightly different shot. It gives us more of a wide view. Um,
also for all of you wondering, if you look up Florida skunk ape, that picture will come up. And the Florida skunk ape is the Florida version of Bigfoot.
let's see.
I
It's weird this one doesn't want.
It's a little tricky with Florida, man. Like
Yeah, for sure.
when I think of Florida, I think of like Miami Beach, not Bigfoot. Oh wow, that photo is a little different.
Yeah. It's a little bit more backed up. So again, you can see how the arm of the creature's going through all the brush. Again, super hard to Photoshop.
You can kind of see
Um,
its feet.
yeah.
Man, yeah. Can you? Is there any way you can pan down to it?
Uh,
You
I
can
think
see
so.
how. Look how. Can you see that, Ryan? It's kind of
Yeah,
phasing in and out of the actual thing, but
yeah,
um, it keeps on disappearing. But if y'all pause the live stream, you can see how big that thing's foot is.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a Bigfoot.
Yeah, that. But yeah, Look at that thing. Just look. That is crazy, dude. Yeah, that's not photoshopped. I can say that's not photoshopped for sure.
For sure.
But what I can't say is obviously that's not a. I can't say that that's not a person in the costume. What makes Patterson Gimlin, for sure for me, what proved Bigfoot on that day is this. No human extends from here to there with those proportions. Like no human on Earth. Its arm would be like this, add another foot. Um, its actual chest, um, its chest was like this. Let me see, this big, right? Ryan,
Yeah.
this big. Even if it do, man, I'm a big guy, but if I got in that costume, there's no way you're fitting. Like nobody's fitting in that costume. Not to mention the thing they like, and these are like legit researchers. You know, like people who specialize in video, like video effects to make sure there's no Photoshop, like
Well, also
biomechanical people.
it's the 1960s, so it's
Yeah,
it would have been extremely hard to make it look that real.
we know it's not CGI. The CGI was not there in the 1960s.
Yeah.
And,
Hey, what do you guys think of this photo right here?
let's see this. Yes, that. Thank you. It says you minimized it. That'll be good when we get it back. There we go. That's what I was gonna tell you guys about. It kind of looks like a orangutan. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah. It looks like an older orangutan.
Yeah, it looks like the face is so similar. You can even
Yeah,
see a little bit of white in that orangutan, and
yeah,
there was a local zoo around her. Obviously, same size. You can see the orangutan is it's kind of hunched over like the Bigfoot was. And maybe we could chalk up the fur to just the flash on the camera or the time of day, or maybe it's just I don't know how much orangutans vary in color. Ace, is there? Can you look up a photo if there are like black orangutans, like orangutans with black fur? Or Ryan, could y'all
Yeah, I got you.
like? Is that are there different variations of them, or are they all kind of that orangish red?
I don't know. I've never
If
seen a
it if
black
they
one.
do have, if there are some that tend to be darker fur, I'm gonna say that's an orangutan.
Yeah, I mean, after just one Google search, I'm not seeing any.
I see a lot of black and white regular monkeys, but
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure orangutans tend to be that color,
I think they're only orange or orangish brown.
orangish, brownish red. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't know. Looking at that photo, you can see similarities. And you can even see where that might be somebody who made an orangutan suit.
yeah,
Obviously, the eyes are compelling. I'm going to say it's an orangutan. Not a Bigfoot, but I don't believe the people are hoaxing. Are y'all two, after seeing that, staying firm on Bigfoot, or y'all come to Team Orangutan or even Team Hoax?
definitely not Team Hoax. It looks too real.
It
Yeah,
could
I'm Team
be.
Orangutan.
It could always be a prank. Like the people weren't faking it; they're not liars. It's just some kids being stupid.
Yeah, well, I don't think kids would have access to costume as realistic as that.
Yeah, that's true. Asa, what do you think? Hoax? Are you staying with Bigfoot or orangutan?
I'm kind of tied between Bigfoot and orangutan. Do we know where this photo was taken?
Yes, it was.
Florida.
It was in Florida. I don't know the specifics.
Okay, because I mean, I feel like Bigfoot is very indigenous to rural areas, so I don't know if Florida would be the place where a Bigfoot would normally be found, because it's you know, towards the coast. It's a little flatter, not a lot of mountain area over
Yeah.
there. So, but there, you know, a lot of zoos in Florida.
Yeah, the
A lot of stuff goes down there.
Yeah, a lot of stuff does go down there. The Bigfoot there is smaller than your regular Bigfoot, and
Yeah.
it's said to kind of. It's kind of like how it's like humans, you know. Not all humans are the same. Not all Bigfoots are the same.
Yeah.
We have the Yeti. We have the Yowie in Australia. We obviously have so many different ones in America. We have Bigfoots with the black fur, the Patterson Gimlin one you saw. We have Bigfoots with brown fur. There's not great photos of a Bigfoot with brown fur. We got the skunk ape. We have the Ohio grassman. We have so many different Bigfoots. China. Oh, what is it? I think it's just called the Wild Man in China. China actually has their own state park dedicated to to preserving the wild man species. It's really cool. And obviously, if you go to Willow Creek, California, you can't hunt a Bigfoot. It's actually on the endangered species list, which I think is awesome. But yeah, one more thing I want to mention before we kind of wrap up here is a Bigfoot video. I don't remember the name, but this youth group went out there and they found. Yeah, this gives me chills. Just we'll bring up this story in the next one because it's a long one. But they found like a teepee structure. Bigfoots are known to create house-like structures. Ryan, that's actually one thing that you could have mentioned.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just remembered. So I was in West Virginia and I was hiking up a waterfall like stream trail.
Yeah.
And there was this,
Middle of nowhere, right?
yeah, middle of nowhere. It was pretty far from any civilization. It was like a park, kind of like a state park or something.
Yeah.
But there was the structure made out of like sticks and leaves and maybe mud, but it wasn't a lean-to or anything. It was a dome shape, and it was very tall. Like I didn't have to duck or anything to go in it. So it was weird. There was a little bit of trash in it. I thought it was a homeless person's house, but it looked like it was. It looked like it wasn't a tent or anything. It just looked like very crude or something like that.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. You said you didn't have to duck or anything.
No, it was very tall. It was like the opening was, or at least 6 feet tall.
See, don't you wish you knew what you knew now back then?
Yeah. Yeah.
So with Ryan's story, man, I just can't remember the place, but this youth group went to this. They're on this mountain retreat. Crazy Bigfoot story. Another one that's kind of like Patterson Gimlin, hasn't been debunked. They got a video of it, and I'll try to get some photos for the next live stream. But not live stream, podcast. They're walking around. The counselors are videoing, and I don't think I've ever shown either of you two this one. And there's just these lean-tos, huge lean-tos, like big, not like wide, but tall. And they start knocking them down, like breaking them. Which, for anybody, if anybody goes Bigfooting from now until the next podcast, for your life, if you see a lean-to in the woods, do not knock it down. That I'm just saving you from being Bigfoot food. Do not knock it down, and we can talk about that later. But they start knocking them down, and they hike up a little bit, and they could just see mountains as far as you can see. And man, right there, you see off way in the distance. They had to zoom the camera in. You see a Bigfoot just walking on the mountain. Here's the scary part. It looks at him. It turns, looks at him. You can't see anything because you can't see its face because it's so far away. But the creature looks at him, waves its arms like this, very monkey-like, you know. Like, have y'all seen zoo videos where like, monkeys are like this? It does that, and then just starts running down the mountain towards them. They got out of there, thank God.
Jeez.
And a lot of people have looked at it, and like Patterson-Gimlin, based off the mountain, based off how tall the creature was in the video, it wasn't shorter than 7.5 feet. And for that to be a hoax, number one, somebody's not fitting in a 7.5 foot costume. Number two, somebody is not hiking 10 miles away to get on a mountain to look at you in a Bigfoot costume. You know.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna build a bunch of little lean-tos just for a little hoax.
Yeah.
And just to see that thing running down the hill, man. It went so fast, and, you know, humans can't just run down a mountain.
Yeah.
Scary, scary video. Luckily, nobody was harmed. But I would definitely say Bigfoots make houses. Like, they make, not necessarily houses.
They make shelters.
Shelters, yeah. But yeah, I'll have all the information on that. I'll have some photos for the next one. So, does anybody want to bring up anything?
Not in particular.
No.
All right. Well, guys, our podcast will be longer normally, but this is kind of just an introduction one. Kind of let you guys get to know us, kind of get to know what's going on, and hopefully over time we can kind of upgrade our setups. But you know, this is fun. I enjoyed it, guys. So this channel, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. This channel will be much more than podcasts. We'll give you Bigfoot gameplay. Asa is awesome at this. We can give you some Bigfoot movie reviews.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking about vlogging some of our trip and some of the squatching. That'll go up, you know.
Definitely.
Yeah.
If by some chance we find one, it will be here. But all that's going to go up here. We're thinking about some stories. We're thinking about Bigfoot stories, just sharing the words with you guys. If y'all want, if anybody has Bigfoot stories, send them in and we will narrate them. I love doing this kind of stuff. Ryan loves kind of doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And Asa loves this stuff too, man. We all love it so much. But, so guys, thanks for coming on tonight. And we will be doing podcasts weekly. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see y'all next time. But in the meantime, stay squatchy.